Good morning, everybody. This is David Novak and Josh the Genius.
Good morning. Good morning.
Today we're going to be focusing on something really cool. Something that we cannot live without anymore ever again. It's on our dashboard. I see a lot of existing members. Thank you very much for your support. Let's do this. Log into the Genius. So as you can see, this is our new remodeled dashboard. And the new tool that we just rolled out yesterday, it's called Best Interest Consumer Suitability Profile. As you know, from June 2020, a lot of RIAs and broker dealers, I mean a lot of them, all of them, have to stay regulated with the new best interest law. And all the independent agents, I guess from January 1st, 2021. Why don't you, Josh, and Brian will take over and have some fun with it.
Yeah, so guys, we're going to be talking about everyone's favorite subject, rules and regulations. I know everyone's excited about it, but rules and regulations are here to keep us safe, keep our customers safe, and it's called the best interest standard for a reason. We want to make sure that we're presenting what's in our client's best interest. That's going to gain trust. We already allow you to make it to where you're promoting transparency to your clients. Now you can actually recommend what's in their best interest, and we're going to stay compliant while doing it. So I think what a lot of people want to know, and Brian, you can hear me, correct?
Yes. Yep. I can hear you, Josh.
All right, everybody. So Brian, he's actually, he used to be a marketer, okay? Very knowledgeable when it comes to this industry. I mean, when it comes to products, when it comes to regulations, rules, I mean, he knows it all. And so with the new best interest regulation, I mean, Brian, can you explain to our listeners a little bit about what that is?
Yes. Thank you so much, Josh, for that compliment. I appreciate it. I really do appreciate that. And I will answer, the best of my knowledge here. You know, the SEC has had this regulation out for years, and maybe they see something coming that we don't see in the distant future. And as we all know, the bull market has disappeared now. Right. So this regulation BI is requiring fixed life insurance agents who do not sell security products to provide record keeping on current breakdowns, fees, conflicts, and disciplinary history to all retail clients at the moment of engagement.
Wow.
Just for a short description. Yeah.
Yeah, no, thank you. And, you know, with regulations and rules, I think a lot of us, and I know me included, I always think the rules are here to, you know, make it to where I can't succeed a little bit more. And I always go back to like speed limits when it comes to driving. You know, the speed limits, it's actually one to keep us safe, and it's to keep other people on the road safe. And I think with this best interest standard, I think it's allowing agents to make sure that they're staying safe and to make sure that the clients are staying safe. You know, so as an agent, I mean, when you're looking at these Reg BI regulations, I'm sure it's gonna, you know, make you scared. Like, am I doing something wrong? Have I been doing it right? Do I need to change anything? I mean, what does this mean for the agents?
Well, Josh, I think what this means is that it's going to be another added task for agents, similar to when that rule 151A made us all very nervous and not knowing if our fixed indexed annuity products back then would become a security registered product. I'm glad that didn't happen.
Yeah. So on that 151 rule, can you explain to us a little bit on what that was?
Yeah, so the 151A rule was announced on January the 8th, 2009 from the Security and Exchange Commission, the SEC. They issued a new rule. It defines that terms related to annuity contracts under the Securities Act of 1933 would be federally security law of under the indexed annuity. And then, you know, that was going to be issued on or after January 12th of 2011. However, that was overturned on the 2nd of July, 2010. It went all the way up to the Supreme Court, and then it was overturned. So then our great insurance industry fought back against, all the laws. And thankfully, due to the last minute financial reform bill, it was overturned, at that Supreme Court level. And now these products will not become, a securities product. And that's why, the Genius, I believe that if the Genius was around back in 2009, when this law came out, it would have been overturned immediately, simply because the Genius covers every guideline and is fully transparent, which is why it is an approved product and best AI software available to be used to stay in compliant with the Reg BI law. And that's why I think everyone really does need to become proficient and simply push the click or sign up button and become proficient to use the Annuities Genius.
No, definitely. And, I think a lot of people, they think that there's a lot of added things that they need to do. And, we both know that, as an advisor, our days are fully booked. I mean, we're answering phone calls, we're meeting with people. Now we're trying to figure out this whole virtual meeting thing. And there's a lot of things that can overwhelm you. But the one thing that you don't want to have to really worry about is staying compliant. But at the same time, you want to be compliant. And so I really do feel that with Annuities Genius, you're not only staying compliant, but it's something you don't have to worry about. Okay, when you're able to focus on what needs to be focused on and know that the compliant part is being taken care of, I mean, that frees you up for so many other opportunities. You can close more business. You can, make more appointments with potential clients. I mean, it does everything for you. I mean, you guys, when you go to create a new client, okay, you go in and create it. Let's say we call him Tiger Woods here. All right, Tiger Woods, he's going to be in California, because I'm in California, so I like using it. We're going to say he has $250,000 or $350,000 for an initial investment, and he's 58 years old. All right, so when you create a new client, all right, it's going to bring down that best interest consumer suitability profile. All right, you can, right from here, you can run the questionnaire. Okay, when you run the questionnaire, now, I think a lot of people might think it's awkward to go through all of these questions with the client. Maybe if there's a way that they can do this before and then you can kind of meet with them after, that would be kind of cool too. You can go up here and click Share Public Link. When you click it, you're going to go down here and it's going to say, okay. And you can go down to Try Public Link Yourself. All right, you right click on the Try Public Link Yourself, open link in incognito window. Okay, this is really important. When you click it, it's going to bring up that questionnaire, but this is going to be something that you can send to your client. Okay, that way they can fill out the questionnaire themselves, and when they're done, they're going to click, next on all of them, but then they'll click update. Once they click update, it's actually going to go into your record keeping as if you went through it with them.
Right. So let's go through the process. Let's go back to, you can minimize this. And let's just get out of it. Yep. Let's just go through the process. Occupation. So let's say the customer is doctor.
Okay. He
He's
is
employed.
Marital
And he
status.
is married.
All right. Let's say the number of dependents is 3.
Yep. And let's say his federal income tax, I don't know, doctor, maybe, I don't know, 25.
35% sounds about right.
And his financial experience, well, maybe doctors, maybe he had a variable annuity before.
Yeah, maybe he had a variable annuity.
And definitely mutual funds.
Yeah, mutual
and,
funds.
Bonds and stocks. Okay, and then spouse's name is Anna.
Very beautiful.
And occupation, she is another doctor. It's a cool family. And her birthday is 02/05/1961.
And let's say they want to both retire at age 65.
Okay. So let's go next. And their email address, whatever, just put the email address, their address. You click next. So you can put manually, or you can just choose approximately 400,000. Okay, source of income, current wages, investment income, estimated net worth, I don't know, 1 million. Annual living expenses, 100 grand. You can click on a button, or you can just do manually, guys.
Yeah.
Then you can type in all their, desirable and any other major debit obligations.
Maybe like a boat or.
Yeah, a lot of different things that I might have. And we might rework this. By the way, this is only 24 hours live. So we going through the beta and asking all of you questions and, and answers. So in the emergency funds, you can type that in. You can also add assets.
Yep.
And you can name the asset and add the asset there if you like, as many as you like. Then you click next.
Oh, would you have to fill that out?
So you just fill that out as an asset. You can do, yep. We can, let's say, have this amount in there. Retirement age, 65. Time horizon,
Yes, so 35 years.
Required annual income, we can put 100 grand. And now financial objectives. I guess they want income later. They want to cover spouse life. They want to protect principal. They want to.
They do want the long-term goal.
And the income referral, let's say.
Yep.
And then insurance needs. Well,
let's say they want their health insurance taken care of, maybe long-term disability if one of them.
Yep. Risk tolerance. That's a cool one.
Yeah, we can go like 50% in the low risk. We can go 25%.
And 25 and high.
And 25 in the other.
Because they're still moving. Funding assets is going to be from their stocks and bonds, let's say.
Okay. And then future major changes. I mean, do
You
any anticipates any major changes in the future, income needs? They can fill out all this information. Click save. All right, so now once everything is saved, then you can actually print the report. All right, that way you can always have it. You can give it back to them. You can send it to whoever you need to send it to. Has your client's name, your name, the date that it was prepared. You have all the information in a beautiful, easy to read client report.
Yep.
Okay.
They're going to record keep all your files.
Yeah, this is all where you can record keep everything. Okay. If you go down to records, all right, you can see that the client was, created. Everything that you do with a client in Annuities Genius, you guys already know is record kept automatically. We timestamp it, we date stamp it. We make sure that you're staying compliant so that you don't have to worry about staying compliant.
Yep. So you can print the report. You can send them the report. You can update the questionnaire. If some changes going on there, right? You can just update the questionnaire there. You can share the link with them. You can do pretty much all of it. And then when you go back to dashboard, Tiger Woods as a customer, you see he's already put in here. So at this point, you can select another customer by just one click, right? You create new customer again, or you can just go and stop shopping. You can go to your rider calculator, go to guarantee rider, okay? And let's say this is information for him and you did your research. And then you just go to reports. And here's this beautiful rider report for him with 49 riders that you choose for him. And then if you go back to your customer, your CRM system, you can search in the box, so you can just find Tiger Woods. And if you go to records, here's the rider calculator. You just run for him. So the record keeps this report in here for you again, which is really, really cool. So now you don't have to worry ever again about being compliant and doing the right thing by the customer. All your records in here write a calculator. Here's the client report that you did. What else we have in here?
You can leave tasks for
Yeah,
yourself.
you can create tasks, notes, and
Put
we
notes in there.
like once again we're still building this thing up, but it's already record keeps, as you can see. It's already ready for Reg BI. It's ready for everything. Reports. You can edit anytime. You can change the file. You can do as many things as you like into it.
Yeah, you guys, this is definitely something that you want to have, because you don't want to have to be worried about all of these things. You want to be able to, you know, make sure that you're doing what you need to do while also staying compliant.
So also, Brian, let's maybe show guys how you can analyze their needs and and decide what's next. And we can find everything from the dashboard. You can find a solution right from the dashboard.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So we can see the report, I guess, right? What they were looking for inside the report. And in this case, we know that what the age is and what they're trying to accomplish, right?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we can create a couple of scenarios. You see all this solution buttons, find solutions. So what we can do, guys, is we can basically take them through the solution right away in here. So if they're looking for, indexed annuity for the growth continued, you can click on index growth potential, and you can solve the case. And it's really quickly going to take you to the analyzer tool, so you can see all the products inside the analyzer tool right from the dashboard. Pretty cool stuff, huh? Go ahead, Josh.
Yeah, so yeah, with those tools, so those are basically just shortcuts that you can get to all of the different tools here. So if you're looking for index growth potential, you guys know that it's going to take you to the analyzer tool. Okay, if you want to compare several FIA options, that's going to take you to the database. And it's going to take you to the fixed index database. So anytime you click on one of these, it's going to be highlighted like it is, and then you'll go to solve case. All right, that way it gives you a shortcut, and it lets the client know that you're doing what they want you to do. Okay, if they're saying that they want their money to grow as much as possible, and you just go to the analyzer tool, well, they don't know that that means index growth potential. So now that they can see what you're doing, and they know that you have their best interest in mind. Okay, now there's some things about Annuities Genius that I think we really do need to go over. I mean, as an agent, Brian, if you want to stay safe, how exactly is Annuities Genius going to keep you safe with the Reg BI?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a great question, Josh. With Reg BI and having the ability to say, I'm going to keep track of everything, and I can use it that way because I have my specific product. And as I get more clarity on using this, I'm going to use it for the best product ever. You eliminate all nervousness, all takeaway, all worry, because the Annuities Genius specialist has that all tracked for you, keeps track of all your fees, anything that is going on with that client in reference to conflicts, disciplinary history. All retail clients at the moment of an engagement is going to be documented to keep you in full compliance. So now you're front and center. You're in the conversation with the current future clients. Protection you have at a maximum against anything, against questions, customer complaints, negative disclosures. Heaven forbid you ever get audited. You're fully compliant. And the Annuities Genius keeps track of all that public disclosure information to keep you compliant under the new Reg BI law that's coming out. So that's just amazing. Yeah.
That's totally right. And, I think a lot of people look at technology and go, you know what, I'm not savvy enough to do the technology thing. I like the paper. I like being able to, jot things down on a yellow pad.
Right.
And that savviness just isn't there for some people. But I think what a lot of people don't understand is they're a lot more savvier than they think. I mean, Brian, what would you say to someone right now who is in this crisis time that we're in, this pandemic, and they're trying to move their business forward? I mean, with Annuities Genius, how is this going to help them?
Yeah, well, I believe that if you're savvy enough to do an email, you're savvy enough to do Annuities Genius. I
Yeah.
mean, email is, everyone thought that email is not going to be able to be used. Now, everyone in the world uses email,
Yeah.
and that's as easy it is to use the Annuities Genius. And being savvy there with the best AI software ever available, it's created its own marketplace, and it keeps everyone safe, alive, and thrive in this business that keeps you focused on growth and leading change instead of following it.
Yeah.
To become an Annuities Genius in your state today, I think is paramount. Everyone's signing on, and everyone will be using it.
Yeah. Yeah. So here we can see, Tiger Woods' main financial objectives. Okay. Front and center, your client can see that you're taking what they need and it's putting them at the front of everything before anything starts. Okay. We can see that they want income later. They want to cover spouse's lifetime. You can go to see all facts. Okay. You click the button and it's going to bring you to this screen where you can actually go over the questionnaire with them. Okay, so if they're like wondering, okay, well, how am I gonna move all my money? Well, we know that the money in it, variable annuity insurance, mutual funds, bonds. I mean, Brian, to have this kind of information ready for the client right in front of them, I mean, how paramount is this?
Well, it's also huge for the Brian, the agent, or anybody, the agent, because you can right away see what they need to accomplish, and you can walk them right away after this questionnaire, right? Go back to the dashboard, please. And after you see all these questions in here, income later, cover spouse, principal protection, long-term growth, income tax deferral, they're kind of telling you what they need. So you can use the Genius after you see all the facts and just go to the tools where you need to go and solve the case, basically, automatically. Okay?
Exactly.
You just qualify them. Actually, best interest is really cool because it's helping you qualify the consumer instantly.
Right. Yeah, we know that the client wants to retire at age 65. Well, they're 58 years old. So if we go to if we go to the Rider calculator and they're looking for income later, okay, we can defer payments right off the bat to when they want to. So that way that they know that they're going to be starting their income at age, what is that, 65?
Exactly.
Right there.
Yep, it's right there.
So now everything that we do is going to be in their best interest. Okay, if they want to search for A-rated companies only, you just click it. Put the spouse's information for joint. Everything just does everything. The Genius does it for you. You're going to take all the credit. Okay, if they're worried about, long-term care, maybe one of them has an illness. Well, you go right to the doublers category. Okay, you know that it's a doubler because it has the green tab on the right-hand side. Okay, you're able to show them that you have their best interest in mind. Okay, and it record keeps everything for you, so you're going to stay safe. I mean, Brian, for the agent right now that's kind of on the fence about this, I mean, if you could give any words of advice to them, what would you say to them?
I would say, you may be on the fence because of what you're used to, but really what you're doing is completing a suitability, which, as we know, after the 151A is required now, the suitability forms, bigger applications. Now you can get that done on the front end. You're Reg BI compliant right out of the gate. Change is obviously growth. I think, with travel, who thought we would take our belt off and shoes off? Computers used to take a room full of computers to take us to the moon. Now you can get to the moon off of the power of your cell phone. And heaven forbid, I never thought we'd never be able to go out to dinner and eat again. I mean, I love going out to dinner. And so using the Annuities Genius is the next marketplace that is going to change our industry, and it, I think, it's a requirement. So I say sign up for your free 7-day free trial experience and the simplicity and client-friendly presentation, full transparency with videos that show you every step on how to walk through each tool, and you will close 40% more of your sales per appointment. And that allows you make a lot more money and spend time doing what you want to do.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep. I can see we have another guru on the call. His name is Jason. Let's let Jason say a couple of words.
Yeah. So Jason,
Where is Jason?
I can see you got your hand up here. Can you hear us?
Can you hear us?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
we can hear you well. Jason,
Yeah.
what do you think about the Genius? can you tell us your little story about it, what you think?
Sure. So my contribution, I guess, would be similar to Brian. By the way, hats off to Brian for nailing all that stuff and mentioning
Yep.
going back to SEC 151A. Like Brian, myself, I've been in the industry for over 2 decades. So I've seen the evolution of the equity indexed annuities into fixed indexed annuities from 1997 on. So SEC 151A, we got into the DOL just a few years ago, and that was finally thrown out by the Ninth Circuit Court. And now we're here with BI. So for me, I look at this as a combination of things. Like Brian was saying, don't fight change. You have to embrace the change moving forward. It's here. It is a regulation now. And so regardless if you're doing securities business or just fixed business, this is a tool that you want to embrace for several reasons. One of them being Reg BI and best interest, but also for the obvious stuff, all the tools and the things we're doing with the Genius. But I, like Brian, I think in what you said, David, in my opinion, it's critical and key in that if you see what we're actually doing here, what's actually been created, is you have an opportunity to use this part of the software. This is a conversation starter. This is taking it off of you and putting it on the best interest of the customer. So, like we all know, there's 4 steps in this process. There's 4 questions. The first is an annuity in the best interest of the customer? We should all be trying to do that anyway. Mm-hmm. Number 2, if so, which version of annuities is most appropriate? The Genius helps with that as well. Number 3, after you're going through that process, how are you going to determine, verify, and validate what percent or dollar amount they want to consider putting into an annuity? The Annuities Genius helps you throughout that whole process. And then ultimately, what you're trying to do is figure out in front of the client or with the potential customer, with transparency, which insurance company or which specific product are you going to use? Think about this. Think about what you're doing in this software. You're not starting with, hey, I think you should buy an annuity, and here's the specific annuity you should buy with this specific insurance company. This completely flips the traditional approach of going out. We've all had those conversations with people. You already have essentially many agents and advisors, they have a couple annuities in their bag, for lack of a better way of saying it. Okay. And it's not that they don't want to do the best thing for the client, but we have to get away from that mindset, and we have to embrace the change going forward to grow. This Annuities Genius program, the software, in my opinion, it's more than just software. This is a combination of things that used to take, I could say, being in the industry for over 20 years, this used to take me, I'd have to have 5 or 6 or 7 different tools to do all of this. Now you have it literally housed in one place where you can go as an advisor. Agents and advisors, if you're using 5 or 6 different things to achieve the same goal, you're doing a couple things. Number 1, you're taking way more time, right? You're probably not as organized. And frankly, to be blunt, you're going to be spending a lot more money than if you just took the Genius and took advantage of everything that's already there. And as you guys have stated all along, there's more innovation coming. So I just personally believe that you, as Brian was saying a little bit ago, he was insinuating, look, you can't, going forward, this isn't something that you should have. It's going to be something that you need.
Right.
So Jason, how you think, what's the I guess the top 3, let's summarize the benefits for the agents, and let's summarize the benefits for the marketers and marketing organizations, and let's summarize the benefits of the carriers. If you can do this together with Brian, Brian, you can get in. So what do you think the top 3, or whatever, how many you think, benefits would be for the agency and for the marketers, how they benefit from it?
Right. So first and foremost, for the agents and the agencies, hands down, it's having real-time data, period. Accurate, accurate information, annuity intelligence at your fingertips. Instead of going to 5 or 10 different carriers, you have it all in one dashboard, and you know it's accurate, and you know it's current, and it's all there. So from that standpoint, I would say absolutely time, but also not only time, knowledge is power. So we have the intelligence there. Now you have, as an agency or as an agent, you can go grab what you need, and you can grab it quicker, and you can see everything right in front of you. Sometimes it's really hard. It's hard to, you know, we can only make one decision at a time. The human brain only processes one thing at a time.
Right.
So if we're looking at a bunch of things and then we go away from that screen and we come back and we go to something else, we want to be able to see stuff in real time. There we go. Look at that. See all this stuff in real time, have real data, and then be able to move forward and make a decision. So from an agent and an agency standpoint, it's absolutely time and accuracy and having all of that stuff at your fingertips without having to go to multiple places. And of course, I have to say this. The whole goal is what are we trying to do? Well, we're trying to make in the best interest for the customer. We're trying to make a suitable recommendation, and you do want to close the business, right?
Right.
So this is going to help agents and advisors close more business, but also do it client-centrically, where they're putting the best interest of the customer first, so that everyone wins.
That's totally true. That's totally true. That client central part that you hit on, that's perfect, because that's what we're here to do. We're here to help our clients. And so, Brian, I mean, from a carrier standpoint, I mean, what would the benefit of Annuities Genius do for the carriers? Brian, can you hear us?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yep. Okay, I'm back. My fault.
Right.
Yeah,
Yes.
I agree with Jason 100%. Yeah, that's great. It's quicker, especially for the marketers, and that allows them to build the relationship stronger with their agents and the agent with the marketer, because now they're building more trust, because they're educating and showing their agent a lot more information to make them create the decision with the client,
Right.
or for the client faster. And for the carrier, it allows that carrier to compete in their own marketplace. So now whatever they have from their 20-year, 30-year treasury bonds, which we know are going to become more and more popular because of this pandemic, are going to now have the ability to say, okay, we want to use the Annuities Genius, and we want to be on the top, and we need to be the best opportunity for a number of different scenarios that we want to maximize, whether it's accumulation, income, increasing income, hypothetical income, or long-term care doubler, or whatever they're looking at creating. Because there's only 100 pennies, as we know, in a product, which is, some put more towards commission, other put towards more towards bonus, other put more towards free withdrawals. And so using the carriers to show every carrier out there, and being able to choose as an IMO, FMO, bank channel, here's the carriers that we want you to use, because these are the ones that we may have a best interest or best performance with.
Right.
I mean, it really solves the best of both worlds. It's a win-win-win. Yep, yeah, all around. And
I'm thinking, because my parents, they're getting ready. They're getting to be that age where, they're looking to retire. And I don't know specifically if an annuity is going to be their best choice, or maybe it is. But I mean, if I knew that the person who is going to be helping them with that decision had a software like Annuities Genius, I mean, it puts my mind at ease, and I'm sure it puts the client's mind at ease when they can actually see the Annuities Genius software go to work. And like I said, as the agent, you're just going to take the credit for it. Okay, you want those referrals from other clients to refer you to people that they know is in the same situation. Those are the best kinds of things that you can get in this kind of an industry. Getting the leads from, just a lead generator is good, but to be able to get them from the referrals is even better. Yep, and so, David, do you have any?
Well, I just want to say thank you so much, Brian. As usual, Jason, also thank you so much. It means a lot, you know, that you guys see what I see. When me and the team started building this years ago, I guess now we can say years ago, right? And you know, ultimate growth stage right now. And I truly believe that you know, my goal. My personal goal is to create millionaires out of agents. I have a dream of creating at least 10,000 millionaires out of agents and helping thousands and thousands of consumers all over the country that we can, you know, American, you can. So what I want to say is, I want you to say, as of today, okay, officially with the best interest consumer suitability profile, and it's only going to get better from here. And we have a lot of more other tools we're developing that absolutely going to blow your mind.